It's an old statistic straight out of the U.S. Department of Justice. 1 in 5 college women will be the victim of rape or attempted rape before they graduate. And experts say that number is actually a low ball since the crime remains underreported. What's more, a new report launched by the Center for Public Integrity shows that most victims who do come forward can face insurmountable barriers. Brittany Morehouse is here with this special report. Some scary stuff, Brittany.
Absolutely. We're talking about victims who often have to argue their own cases as if they were attorneys. Often they are threatened to be silent, and sometimes students found guilty are not even punished.
February of 2004 that I was raped in my dorm room. It's a violent crime, and to have another human being invade your body in that way, your soul dies.
And Catherine Russell says a part of her is still dead because of what happened in the 3 months after that night.
The police officer that night, when she came to collect the evidence from my room, the last thing she said to me on the way out the door was, "That's a tough lesson to learn, huh?"
So begins her story of a university that essentially gave Russell a gag order, while also having her try her own rape case.
When you are in the state that you're in after being raped, you aren't functioning like a whole person, and then they tell you, here you go, make your own case, think of everything, collect all your own evidence, and by the way, if you talk about anything you're going through right now, you will be expelled.
It's one of many tales investigative reporter Kristen Lombardi heard over the last 9 months.
There's, kind of a culture of secrecy around sexual assault proceedings on campus.
Many of those proceedings don't even resemble courts.
It's like bring the two students together to talk about the incident in question and reach emotional closure, but there's no punishment involved.
And if a student is found guilty,
we found quite common little consequence happens.
Universities say they're caught between Title IX, which requires they investigate every reported sexual assault, and the Federal Education Rights and Privacy Act, or FERPA.
It's really the reason why schools feel like they have to have a closed process. FERPA protects the privacy of students' educational records. We had an administrator tell me, even I don't release the names of accused students found responsible, and frankly, I don't know anybody who does.
In the end, Russell did not get that guilty verdict.
I walked out of the room, and I went to the parking garage, and I was about to get in my car, and he walked right past me and he laughed at me. And then 6 months later, he was back there for another trial for raping someone else. And for months after my trial, I would go to sleep thinking, I should have said this, I should have said that. And I would wake up arguing with invisible people.
But she did get the university to change their sexual assault policy. It no longer forces victims to stay quiet. In the meantime, Russell offers this advice to victims.
Whether or not you're able to use the word rape or say it out loud, you know what happened, and you need to find someone who's going to fight for you.
So you may wonder, why aren't these cases handled through the criminal justice system? Well, many DAs essentially decline to prosecute campus rapes. Experts believe that's because the majority of these cases are either acquaintance rapes or they involve alcohol and drugs. Anita?
Brittany, very good report. Thanks. Lots of insights.